it's Anja here, and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today I am going to show you how to make this gorgeous, what I'm calling open flower garland. Now, yes, I've turned it into a garland, but you can use this flower for so much more. It's a really easy pattern to get on with, and once you've made the flower, the garland is really easy to make as well, and I have incorporated some leaves into that as well. So you could just make stems, leaves, and then attach them to the flower, but of course, you know, I just want to make a garland so I can hang it up in my room. I mean, wouldn't this be a lovely decoration for a children's party as a gift, or even, yeah, indeed, to wrap around the box of a gift to do the gift wrapping with, and then of course the recipient has an extra present. I hope you will enjoy this tutorial, so let's get started. So let's make the flowers. So I have here a selection of colors. I've just gone into my leftover stash and I'm just using any color that I fancy, really. So you're going to get started with making your slip knot any way you can. I am using Starcraft Special DK, so I'm also going to be using the hook that goes with this yarn. Normally that would be a 4, but for my tension I need to use a 3.5. So use the hook that you usually use. You'll also of course need scissors and a darning needle. So insert your hook into your slip knot and we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then you go back to your first chain, insert, yarn over and pull through the stitch and pull through the loop on your hook. You now have a little circle, and trying to take along the end, I am now going to chain 1 and I'm going to place, I'm going to place 10 single crochets into the circle. So you insert into the circle, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. Try not to lose your loops off your hook. And you are going to be doing this 10 times. Now the thing is, we need 10 V's on the outside of our work, so let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one here is our chain, so I'm going to do a 9th one. So really I've done only 9 single crochets, and now my 10th V, which is going to be created by my slip stitch, is just going to be created by going under my first V here and doing a slip stitch. So if you count now, you will see that you have indeed 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay. Now we are going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch, and we are going to chain 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Then you go back to that same V where you have your chain coming out of, and you go back in there into the same stitch and you do a slip stitch. Then you go to the next V and you do a slip stitch. Into the next V for another slip stitch. Now you're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Back into that same stitch for a slip stitch. So really we are skipping a stitch by slip stitching into it, and then we slip stitch into the next stitch, and that is where we are going to make a loop of 10 stitches. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. then you go back into that same stitch and you do a slip stitch. And so if you have counted correctly, you should be making 5 of these 10 chain loops. So I'll just keep going. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Back into the first one and a slip stitch. Then here, slip stitch under the next one, slip stitch into the next one, chain 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and back into the same stitch, and that will leave you with a V in between there, and that is perfect. There we go. So this is the base of our flower, and now we are going to build up the petals. So you are going to slip stitch into the next loop here. So just go into there and do a slip stitch. There we go. Okay, this has brought us where we need to be. So let's get started with just the one chain. Then we do our 3 single crochets. So that's the start of our petal. Then we are going to do 3 half double crochets. So you yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, and you pull through the 3 loops. There we go. Then you are going to do 5 double crochets. So 1, 2. So a double crochet is yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and the 5th one. There we go. And then we do 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then we do 3 single crochets. So really you start with single crochets, you then do your half doubles, and then you do your doubles, and then you come down again. So really, I mean, once you know this, it's quite easy actually to remember, and you'll be able to just do them. And it will be an easy pattern for you to just know by heart and repeat and make as you go even. Then you've finished with your last single crochet. You're going to go and slip stitch in between here. Anywhere you can get into is fine. And then of course slip stitch back into that chain, and you do a chain, and you get started again with doing your 3 single crochets. Then we do our half double crochet, so yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the 3 loops on your hook. 3 of those. Then we do our 5 double crochets. 3, 4, and 5. Then you do your 3 half double crochets again. Oops, make sure you don't get entangled with the other loops. And then you do your 3 single crochets again. And if you need to, you just scoot them over, and that will be fine. Then in between here, in between those 2 loops, we have got a location just to go in and do a slip stitch. And then of course you're going to be repeating this for all the 5 petals. So we've done 2, I've got another 3 to go. I will see you when I have finished the 5 petals. When you've done your last petal, do a slip stitch, and then that's it. So you cut off your yarn, pull it through, and then you use your needle to sew in your ends. I mean, it is just such a lovely flower, I think anyway. It's really big, effective, and it doesn't take long to make at all. Okay, so to make the garland or the string that you're going to hang it on, or even just the stem and the leaf, I decided I would use 2 strands and a 4.5 hook. So I wanted to keep it really simple, so just using your 2 strands as if they were one. I'm going to insert my hook and I'm going to start chaining. So you just make a chain, and because you've got 2 strands, it's a little bit thicker and a little bit stronger, so you know that helps for the garland, of course. But of course, if you're using this for decoration or for you know, on a gift wrapping, then of course, you know, it doesn't really matter that much. You can just do it single-stranded, but I thought it would make a nice change just to make sure that this chain is a little bit chunkier. Then you are going to decide, yes, I am going to start doing my leaf now. So then you chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You count back your 10, of course, because 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So in the 10th one, you go in there and you do a slip stitch. So basically you've made a little circle. Now you just turn your work so it's easy for you to work, and you have your, you know, you're working out at the back, your loop there, right, there we go. And we are going to do a sequence of stitches, a different one. So 3 single crochets into around that chain loop, 5 half double crochets, so 5 half double ones. So this is a little bit, yeah, okay, am I getting there? No, I'm getting stuck. Okay, and there we go, that was better. So that's 3, 4, and 5. Then we are going to do a chain. Then you do 1 double crochet, so there we go. Then a chain, and then you do your 5 half double crochets again. So we're already coming down the other end. Okay, I've forgotten now. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. And the 5th one. And then you do your 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and again, if you need to, scoot them over. There we go. So that's the 3rd one. And as you can see, with doing that chain and then the double crochet in between there, you get a little bit of a point, which I think is a nice effect. Then you go back to your chain, you do a slip stitch wherever you can get into. That's a sensible location is fine. There we go, slip stitch, and then you just start chaining again. So now you have made, let me just quickly chain. Yeah, now you have made your drawstring, or your string that you're going to hang your garland on, with automatic leaves. So on my garland, I just did them as and when. Sometimes I did 2 quite close together. Sometimes I did them in the middle between the flowers. Sometimes I did them on the side, anywhere I fancied. So then you go over to your flower. If you think it's time to attach your flower, you go over to your flower, making sure that you're at the back to pick up some strands. So basically what you need to look at is a line here. So I would pick up a strand here and here, here and here, and that will then create a nice way to hang your flowers straight. So I'm just going to try and pick up some strand here that I think will work. There we go. Make sure it doesn't shine through on the other side. just picked up, pull your yarn through and chain. Then I chain, gauge the distance, no, chain again, yeah, here, pick up another little strand. And of course it's difficult to get under them because you're using a bigger hook than what you used for the flower, but that's okay. Look, there we go, we have attached. Then it's about 6 chains. See what your tension is like. Yeah, look, 5 chains, that's big enough. There we go, under a strand. Do check on the front. Am I going to, no, you won't see that, so that's fine. Bring through your yarn, there we go, and off we go again. And that way you can do your whole garland or just the leaf onto one flower if you're using it for something else, for decoration or whatever. There we go. See, you can of course pick up, if you're just doing it for one thing, then you pick up a couple of strands at the back in the middle of the flower, so you have attached it where you need to attach it. So this is the start of my garland. Of course, I would prefer to have a much longer bit to get started and also to end, so that when you're hanging up your garland and you know where you're going to be hanging up, you know the sort of the size of cord that you need to be able to knot it or do whatever you need to do with it. So I hope you will try making this flower. I really like it. It's very effective with any color and so easy to make. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial for these lovely flowers, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!